The night air was cool, but tense, as Ashfur prowled the crumbling streets of the abandoned city. Shadows stretched like long fingers from the broken buildings, and the wind carried whispers of forgotten tales. He paused, ears twitching. Something was different tonight. Above, the sky was split by a streak of silver light, a comet blazing across the heavens. Ashfur's amber eyes widened. Legend spoke of such a comet, a harbinger of change, a bearer of impossible power. Some said it could grant strength beyond imagination. Others whispered it could awaken the darkest fears of the night. He wasn't alone. From the rooftops, a soft rustle announced the arrival of Luna, her white fur glowing faintly in the comet's light. "You see it too," she purred, her voice a melody carried by the wind. Ashfur nodded. "It's coming down, somewhere close." A sudden screech echoed from the alley below. Bramble, the farm tom, clambered out of the shadows. His large frame, awkward but formidable. "I smelled trouble," he muttered, his deep voice trembling slightly. "And I don't like the smell of this trouble." A tiny figure darted between them. Moth, barely bigger than a sparrow, leaped onto Bramble's back. "We have to follow it," she squeaked, her bright eyes shining with determination. And so, under the comet's silver trail, the unlikely team set off through city ruins, across rooftops, and into the wild, unknown, unaware that eyes from the darkness were already watching. Eyes that belonged to the Shadow Claws. The streets narrowed, winding toward the looming silhouette of the old clock tower. Its hands were frozen at midnight, and its windows gaped like empty eyes. A chill ran down Ashfur's spine. "This place gives me the creeps," Bramble muttered, tail flicking nervously. "You'll get used to it," Luna said calmly, patting ahead. "Focus on the comet. That's what brought us here." Inside, the tower was a maze of crumbling staircases and broken gears. Every step echoed in the hollow space, and the faint glimmer of the comet filtered through the shattered clock face. Suddenly, a scratching, gnawing sound filled the air. Shadows shifted. From the darkness, the giant rats emerged, eyes red, teeth gleaming, tails whipping like whips. "Rats this big?" Bramble exclaimed, raising his bulk in defense. Ashfur's claws gleamed. "Stay calm. Follow my lead." Luna darted ahead, agile and silent. She distracted the rats with swift, teasing movements. Moth, tiny but fearless, darted between their legs, causing chaos. Bramble's strength came next, swinging his weight to knock several off balance. Ashfur, swift and clever, led them through the trap-laden corridors, using the shadows as his weapon. The battle was fierce, teeth snapping and claws striking, but together they triumphed. Exhausted, they paused in the moonlight streaming through the cracked clock face. First test, survived. Moth panted, bouncing on her tiny paws. Luna's gaze lifted to the comet above. And the hardest part is still ahead. The Whispering Woods. That's where the real danger begins. We'll need every ounce of courage. Ashfur's amber eyes glinted with determination. Then we move forward. Together, the forest lay before them, dense and strange. Trees twisted skyward in impossible angles, their leaves whispering secrets that made the hairs on Ashfur's neck stand on end. Shadows danced in the silver light of the comet, and every rustle of wind carried voices that seemed almost alive. "Stay close," Luna warned. "The Whispering Woods do not forgive the careless or the fearful." Moth bounded ahead, fearless as ever. But soon, even her tiny form slowed. The air shimmered, making the path ahead ripple and warp. They saw what appeared to be glowing figures, friends from their past, illusions of safety, but Ashfur's instincts warned him that nothing in these woods was real. Suddenly, the trees themselves seemed to shift. Branches reached for them, twisting into shapes of long-forgotten fears. Shadows of monsters, flickering faces, and even versions of themselves, distorted and mocking. Bramble trembled. I don't like this, he admitted, backing against a massive trunk. You have to trust yourselves, Ashfur said, voice steady. And trust each other. That's the only way through. They huddled together, sharing strength. Moth whispered, if we lose sight of each other, we get lost forever. Step by careful step, claw by paw, they moved forward. Luna's knowledge of the woods guided them past traps of illusion, and Ashfur's cunning helped them avoid hidden pitfalls. Bramble's strength cleared obstacles, while Moth's keen instincts alerted them to dangers the others could not see. Hours, or was it days, passed in the forest's shifting maze. Exhaustion threatened to break them, but finally, they reached a clearing. At its center stood a massive stone arch, carved with symbols that glowed faintly silver, the gateway to the Starlit Spire, the next step toward the comet. But in the clearing, waiting with eyes like molten gold, were the Shadow Claws. Their leader, sleek and black as night, stepped forward. You've come far, but not far enough, he hissed. Ashfur crouched, ready. We're not afraid of you. Luna's fur bristled. We have each other, and that's stronger than fear. The clearing seemed to hold its breath. The Shadow Claws circled, sleek and dangerous, their eyes glinting like molten gold in the silver comet light. Ashfur's tail twitched, muscles coiled. You will turn back, the leader hissed, voice low and menacing. The comet is not for you. We're not turning back, Ashfur replied. We've come too far. Together, we move forward. The battle erupted in a flurry of motion. Luna darted like a ghost, her white fur flashing through the dark shadows, confusing the Shadow Claws. Bramble used his bulk to shield the others, swinging his mighty paws to knock enemies off balance. Moth, small and fearless, nimbly struck at weak points, biting tails and distracting their foes. Ashfur led with strategy, herding the Shadow Claws into missteps and traps among the stone arch and roots of the clearing. It was brutal, fast, and tense. Just when the Shadow Claws seemed endless, Luna whispered, "The comet. Focus on the comet." A silver streak of light shone through the trees. The Moonlight Prowlers, fueled by hope and determination, surged forward. Their unity created a moment of unstoppable power. The Shadow Claws stumbled, unable to match their combined strength. Finally, the leader gave a hiss of frustration and vanished into the shadows, retreating but not defeated. "This is not over," he growled. "The comet will be ours." Breathing heavily, the team regrouped. Moth bounced on Ashfur's back. "We did it. We really did it." Ashfur's amber eyes gleamed, but he looked to Luna. "The hardest part isn't the Shadow Claws. It's what awaits at the Starlit Spire. The comet's power, it can change everything." Luna nodded. "And we must be ready. Only together can we reach it and survive what comes next." The Starlit Spire loomed above them, a twisting tower of stone that seemed to pierce the night sky. The silver comet's glow bathed it in ethereal light, casting long, shimmering shadows. The wind howled around them, carrying whispers of both promise and peril. "This is it," Ashfur said, muscles tensed. "The comet is at the top, and whatever waits there, we face it together." The climb was treacherous. Jagged stones jutted from the tower's walls, and gusts of wind threatened to topple them. Yet the Moonlight Prowlers pressed on Bramble, using his strength to steady the others, Luna scouting the safest paths, Moth darting ahead to signal danger, and Ashfur leading with precision and courage. Halfway up, the spire itself seemed alive, shadows twisted into visions of their deepest fears. Ashfur saw himself alone, abandoned and defeated. Luna glimpsed secrets she had never dared confront. Bramble felt the weight of his own doubt. Moth faced visions of being helpless, tiny, and powerless. But together, they held fast. "Remember why we climb," Ashfur called over the roar of the wind. "For each other, for the comet, for the night itself." The final stretch was the hardest. The Shadow Claws had returned. Led by their relentless leader, a fierce battle erupted among the twisting stones of the spire, claws flashing in the comet light. But the Moonlight Prowlers, united and unyielding, fought with unmatched courage. Their bond shone brighter than fear. Finally, with one last leap, Ashfur reached the summit. Luna, Bramble, and Moth followed, and there it was, the comet, resting on a pedestal of pure silver light, pulsing with energy. Its glow bathed them, filling them with warmth, power, and hope. Breathing heavily, Ashfur touched the comet with his paw. A wave of energy coursed through him, through them all strength, clarity, and the realization that courage, loyalty, and love had brought them here. The spire shimmered, the comet rose slightly, and a soft voice filled the air. Those who climb with courage and heart shall carry the light into the world. The Moonlight Prowlers gazed out at the horizon. The night had been long, dangerous, and filled with trials, but together they had triumphed. From that night on, the world of cats would never forget the heroes who followed the silver comet. Ashfur, Luna, Bramble, and tiny, fearless Moth. They descended the spire, hearts full of pride, ready for new adventures, knowing that no darkness could break the bond they shared.